Hello, fellow wargamers and history buffs, and welcome to our latest play on Vassal of the Battle of Prague. This is from the Battles of the Age of Reason, published by Clash of Arms a couple of years back. And this is a 7 years war battle. And we have gotten to the top of the hour. We're at the 12 o'clock turn, and so it's time for us to calculate losses to roll for army morale level, and that's what we've been discussing. So joining me today are my colleagues and friends, David Plock, who is playing the Austrians, and then David McAlpin, who is none other than Frederick the Great in all of his greatness.
Michael McAlpin?
Michael McAlpin. What did I say?
We were both David.
David McAlpin. I'm sorry. We got double Davids on Austria on
I have
Austerlitz.
cousins named David McAlpin, but I'm not.
Okay, my apologies. My apologies. I haven't. This is. I'll blame it on. I'll blame it on the oppressive heat here in California. We're not having
I
it
think
yet.
you should blame it on the production staff responsible for the cue cards.
That is entirely it. We will definitely blame it on that. So.
Totally.
All right. So, do we have some vague idea? Are you guys in the vassal module yet?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no.
Yes,
I'm actually in a copy of it where I was working on
yeah,
it.
I was in a copy of it earlier today, and that's you need to pay attention.
Well, I have our handy dandy module up here.
Excellent. So yeah. Right. So the procedure really is that each of us. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure that the rules are really specific about the order in which these things have to happen, but each of us can choose to select command points from our leader to apply to the die roll. I think from last time we remembered, like, Frederick's +5, and I think Brown is +4.
Correct.
For a net of +1 benefit to the Prussian side. So you can't reduce your command rating below 2.
Mm-hmm.
So the most that we could do is 3. So that would affect the die roll by as many as 3.
Right.
However, it means that, I mean, if Brown chose not to do anything, then he's actually got +2 for initiative for the rest of the hour, which is a pretty big deal.
Right. So there's got to be some way you would figure that people have to kind of. I mean, you would think that you would plot this. We'd both write down on like a piece of paper.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
You're going to do that.
It should seem to need to be kind of a simultaneous
Yeah.
reveal. Obviously, face to face, that's pretty simple. You could just rock, paper, scissors, whatever, right? There's a lot of different ways you could do it. Obviously, here it's a little bit more complicated, but it's a friendly 7 years war here. So,
All right.
and of course, the truth is, we're both rolling on the very first column in the Army morale table. So, the truth is there's really not that much harm you can come to, right? Each of us has, a 10% chance of getting +5, a 10% chance of getting +3, and an 80% chance of getting nothing.
Right. So if you were to use 2 of Frederick's command initiative points, whatever they're called, that
Exactly.
would then, even if you rolled a 9, it would be a 7 and nothing would happen.
Correct, yes.
Right. So, but otherwise, if you didn't do anything, then then there's a chance that then that +5 or that +3 that applies to every morale check the army
Every
makes
morale check. That's
from
right.
there on out until the end of
From
the game.
there on out, absolutely.
Wow.
And of course, at the top of the next hour or the next Army special result, that causes an Army morale check to happen between the tops of hours, it's just going to add to that.
Right. So I could see the reasonable thing, since the chart is the same for the Austrians as it is for the Prussians, it looks like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if the Prussians say, okay, I'm going to put 2 points towards it. Oh, can they do that much? Yeah, they can because they have a 4 and they'd still have a
Sure.
2.
Yeah,
And
well,
we
you could do as
applied
much
two
as
points
3.
towards it. Then this
That's right.
whole thing would be moot
Right.
because no one could get anything, and we would still have a +1 on the initiative. We'd have 3 and he'd have 2, kind of a thing. That would
Right.
But
be
you just said you could do three. I thought you only could, but you could do it down to two.
Down to
I mean,
+2, but Frederick's
you mean,
+5.
oh, am I plus four?
and
I
you're
think so.
+4. So you could use 2 points towards modifying your die roll, which would be a reasonable thing to do. And if we spent 2 points to bring ours down, then nobody would be. Didn't matter what we'd roll, there'd be no effect, right?
Actually, I'm starting to worry now.
Am I missing something?
Well,
Because I'm looking at the little chart that says +75, and on the
No.
Austrian
You're, you're
table.
you're you're quite right, but I just ran into something else that I'm thinking we may have misread that number.
Oh,
So one,
Five. I thought five was your
it's
wing
the
act.
wing activation
Right.
number. It is.
Your other was four.
I think it's +4.
Right, and I'm plus three, so I could put one, and you could put two.
So that's what I was just looking for. Is where's? Oh, that's Charles. It's +2. Brown is +3. Okay. Yep, much better. All right.
so this is the. I'm looking at the back of Frederick. This is the +4 in the black box. That's what
Yes.
we're looking at. We're not looking at the 5, which is the wing
That's right.
activation number. Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
The 5
All
is
right.
a wing activation number. The +4 is his command rating.
All right. So he could
So-
put 2 towards it. The Austrians could put
Uh,
1
could only
towards it.
Could only put 1 towards it. Right. So yeah, I mean, I don't know how we want to handle this. My sense of it really is that I I like having the initiative.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And I'm not that worried about the chance of rolling an 8 or a 9. And I'm not even worried if we did roll an 8 or a 9. It's like a +3, +5, whatever. I'm not that worried about it.
Okay. Well, then that's.
And obviously, David can only adjust the die roll by 1.
Yeah.
So he's even less likely to do it. I mean, he could guarantee himself only +3, but he would then be at -2 on initiative to us.
Okay. So in this
I don't
particular case, it's better to have the initiative. The morale isn't as big a deal, all things considered.
Yeah, I mean, just the way I think about it is this: this column is pretty mild,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's when you get to the next column and the column after that, that's when you'd start thinking, yeah, I'm not sure if I really want +10. +10, maybe I'm willing to sacrifice a little initiative just to avoid that potential disaster.
And it's cumulative too at that point.
Oh yeah, no, it's absolutely cumulative. So yeah, if you've already got +8 and then you get +10, it's like yikes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we've got to kill a lot of stuff.
Now, I guess to Eric's point, and it's fair actually that, of course, I think we've screwed up this whole game because we didn't read the victory conditions before we started. But since +20 is what dictates victory and loss, it's a pretty big risk to take, I guess, not to adjust the die roll at all. Because I mean, we could be a quarter of a way to an Austrian victory if we just roll a 9 without having made an adjustment. So maybe I'm being a little too blasé about it because I'm too busy fighting the battle and not playing the game.
Well, that's all right. As we said, this is just one big happy 7 years war here, right?
Oh, you know it is.
Yeah.
You know it is. Oh.
So, yeah, I mean, the victory conditions here are +20 to army morale. the winning side's taken more loss. If the winning side's taken more losses than the losing side, it's a Pyrrhic victory. Well, right now it doesn't look like it's gonna. I mean, we'd have to do a whole lot of nasty stuff to try to push it up to a plus 20 because the battle is over at the end of the 1 p.m. turn. So we just
Right.
have four
So
turns left.
honestly, the chances of us getting to plus 20 are pretty low,
Yeah.
really, because we could have one, two, three, four, five more army morale checks, but thus far, the only one we know we're only going to have one more for sure, minimum.
Right.
And theoretically, every turn you could have another army morale check special event come up. Although to be fair, we haven't had one come up yet.
Well, and with that, don't you have to have your losses tip over into the next column to?
And that's one where you really need to read the particular verbiage carefully because it varies a little bit game to game.
Okay.
So let's see if we can find it. 7.2a in the Prague rules. Okay. When a double-ought initiative result is rolled, both sides make an army morale check based on the army's current level of losses, but with -1 to the die roll. See, that's different. I've never seen that in any of the other games. An army leader can modify this army morale check, just like any army morale check, with whatever he's got left of his command rating.
Right.
But the points will be subtracted from the initiative rolls from the rest of the game, or for the rest of the hour. The army morale check must be made even if the current level of losses has already been rolled for.
There you go.
Ah, okay.
Double up.
So, and this is where you really have to read carefully, because if we got to 1 o'clock and by some miracle one of us had stayed below 150,
Right.
you wouldn't have to roll again because you've already rolled on the 75 column. You don't need to roll in the 75 column again.
Right.
But the special event is different, and you do need to roll for it. And it can only be done once per turn. Any further army morale results in the same turn are ignored. And then there's other little wrinkle there. A natural 0 for the die roll reduces your army morale by 5,
Oh my goodness.
but can't reduce it below 0.
Okay.
So that's just it's sort of similar, but it's not exactly the same. The interesting part is we haven't seen one yet, or did we see one so early?
We had
that it
one
didn't
really
matter?
early,
Okay.
and so of course I don't think we'd even suffered more than a handful of
Yeah,
losses
there
from
was
artillery fire or something at that
no
point.
reason to
Yeah.
worry about it. I feel like we're having to throw an awful lot of initiative die rolls, so the chances of there being at least one, I would view as quite high between now and the end of the 1 o'clock turn, so 4 turns away.
Right.
So there's a really good chance that there'll be 2 army morale checks between now and then.
Okay.
In
Well,
my
there'll
opinion.
definitely be one at the start of the 1 o'clock turn.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Yeah, because we're almost guaranteed to have. Because I guess, depending on whose numbers you believe, the Austrians are pretty close to 150 now. We're just a little behind them. But the chances of us avoiding 150 are pretty low.
Right.
So, good times. So now, having talked it around and around and around, do we feel like deducting anything?
Well, I am going to deduct one. I'm not very confident in my single die roll.
Oh, gosh. Well, so that's interesting because since you say it that way, I mean, +2 initiative is that's a lot. I mean, that basically means we get to decide what we want to do, and that's pretty attractive. On the other hand, obviously evening up so that a terrible die roll doesn't hurt our morale. I don't know.
Well,
I feel lucky.
there you
feel
go.
lucky,
There
punk?
you go. There you go. Well, you are the king, so you get to, for better or worse.
Yeah, and you're gonna make me do the die roll, of course.
Of course,
since I'm the one who's,
it's your heavy is the head that wears the crown. Isn't that the saying there?
Absolutely.
So
Well, you got that right. All right. Well, then we will not.
All right. So there's my roll.
ooh, a 9.
Damn.
It's a good thing
See,
you did
I was
that.
telling you.
So now
Just
you've
like
got
was
a
it.
+3 on everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Instead of +5.
That's right. That's right. So, yeah. Well, I mean, I guess that was a good use of that for you. So this means that the army loss level at 75 was rolled for in the 12 o'clock hour with a +3 result for a total army morale of +3. And then we will go ahead and roll the same thing. 75 plus rolled for on the 1200. And let's see what we get, says the king. Yep, I feel lucky.
There you go. There you
Yes,
go.
sir. So that's +5 for every subsequent morale check for us, +3 for them. Good times.
All right.
And it's +2 initiative for us for the rest of the hour, or at least until the next army morale check, where we might choose to use some of the points then. So off we go. I will roll initiative, and let's see where we go. All right. Well, the first thing we know is that we've advanced our end turn marker.
Sheesh. Big numbers.
Kalkruth is
Why is the end turn marker on 1 instead of 0?
Well, I just moved it to 1.
Why would it be 1?
Because you just rolled a 96. I mean, you just rolled a 15.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Now, what's Kalkruth doing at 220?
He got wounded. That's when he shows up again.
Oh, so after the game's over.
Yeah, but I put him over there instead of in the graveyard because
Of course, that makes perfect sense.
we have to
And
put
he's
him
got
back on
a
the
replacement leader of some
replacement. Yeah,
sort.
yeah.
Okay, all good. Thank you.
Yeah, which
All
is
right.
why I was asking about the wounded leader before. because
Right. Yeah, because they don't count. As long as the leader can say, "I'm not dead yet," then the other side gets no points. All right, so that's going to be an oppression activation, and so we probably need to figure out who's going to activate. And I've certainly got enough mischief going on up in the north near Kaj. It wouldn't bother me to go ahead and get to go first. It's not urgent, but it wouldn't be a bad thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my cavalry is a huge cluster.
A 3-ring cluster.
Yeah,
I would
3
say.
ring. Well, the
Yeah.
light cavalry is doing fine and dandy. I'm not worried about them.
Yeah,
It's
just
the
a
heavy
little mop-up
cavalry.
work there.
Yeah, the heavy cavalry is just a big mess.
I did want to ask David a question. There was one Austrian light cavalry unit I never found. And I was trying to decide, was there one that simply wasn't in this scenario, but was on the order of battle?
Data analysis shows too many variables.
Let me see if I can find which one it was.
I have marks for casualties for everyone in the light cavalry.
Okay, so there was one, the B SPL, and I just never found him.
SPLB. He is SPLB is complete. He's dead. He's in the graveyard.
Oh. Oh, I wonder. Okay, yes, you're quite right. I see it now. All right.
There's both
I wondered
SPLA
just
and
the way
BLA.
they were stacked. I think I missed him somehow.
Okay.
Okay, good. All right. Okay. Right. So I think what you're trying to say is that you could probably afford to go first as well.
Yeah, I mean it's entirely up to you. If you think you can do something particularly wicked and damaging up there, then I'd say go for it. Otherwise,
Maybe you
I
should
was going to
go
try to, salvage my situation over here on the other side of the map, kind of a thing.
Yeah. 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 Why don't you go ahead? Carry on.
Okay, all right. So I have to pick a leader for. Let's see who can I do with. Let's see, where is everybody? Those guys are. All right. Okay, I will try to activate then Krakow and see if I can get him. So he's. I don't know. Do I have to roll for him? Yeah, because his wing leader is toast.
No, you certainly would need to roll for him.
Yeah. Here we go. A 3. I think that's okay.
Good
Yeah,
heavens,
he's
I
a
would hope
5.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not
So.
Austrian. So.
Okay.
Well, he's no Zeton though.
There you go. No, he's not. All right. So
Where's he at?
he's right here by the
He's
creek.
right-
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And
So
he's got guys to his east that belong to him.
correct.
Just are there any of his guys that are out of command?
The only one who's out of command is this guy back here in the back.
Okay.
But I can roll to see if he comes out from being disordered.
Absolutely roll for disorder recovery because he is activated right
An
now.
86, so he is
Don't even
happy.
need to look that one up.
Yeah.
So he's still, because he's out of command,
He's half movement.
Half movement.
And then I've got this guy who's shaken and disordered. Let's see if he can at least shake the disordered part. 36. What's the modifier?
Well, I don't know. It's only +5 for being disordered.
Okay.
So it actually probably is okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And you also have the guy way over onto the left.
Oh, yeah. I forgot to roll for him last turn.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. Yeah, he's our favorite unit. All right. So then this guy is just merely shaken. All right. And then this chap that's over here, we'll roll for him. Oh, he is so happy.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Yes, indeed. I don't know that there's much he can do, but he's at least keeping you occupied slightly.
No, you can try to figure out how to form square.
Yes. I mean, it's like I think he's kind of like Custard at the last stand there.
Looks like it.
So, yeah.
Okay.
All right. So as far as trying to extricate this chap from where he's at,
Right.
he can move backwards. Is that correct?
He can do a line back up. He could, yeah.
Okay.
If he does a line back up, let's see. This guy can't. Well, this guy can upcharge him because he's adjacent.
Okay.
So, if you did a line back up, he could upcharge you.
Right.
Obviously, he's going to be halved, so it's going to be 4 to 6, but he's just going to be in your flank. So, it's not great odds for him, but
Right.
Maybe.
So would it be better if I pivoted first and then moved backwards? I mean, he could still upcharge me before I pivot, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's upcharged. He gets the choice of which facing to hit you
Right.
during. So yes, you could.
So I could turn.
Pivot and induce it, or you could back up and
Right.
induce it. Either way, obviously, the time for him to upcharge you is immediately.
Yeah.
Because the hitting you in the flank is the most attractive. at this point, he probably is going to let you back up unmolested if he hasn't already upcharged you.
Now, can that one upcharge too?
Yeah,
Okay, that's what I thought.
yeah, for sure. So, so, you've got a couple of different ways you could think about doing this. You've got 3 more squadrons back behind
Right.
that you could use to trying to think. Yeah, I mean, you could use those to charge this guy. Bring him up here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Whatever, right?
Right.
It looks like you would have to move a little because you have to have line of sight to the unit, and right now that unit's blocking. So, but if you went there, you could do a 1, 2, 3 charge and hit him. And now, obviously, the movement segment's already over by
Right.
the time you get to charge movement. So this guy's still going to be sitting there facing the way he's facing, but on the other hand, this guy has probably advanced into this hex and is now blocking.
Right. Well, then that just opens up another can of worms elsewhere. But
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't want to tell you what to do. Just was giving you some ideas about different
right.
thoughts. But by all means, if you want to, just change the facing, dare him to upcharge you.
Right. And he would charge with. So he'd have one guy that's disordered and one guy that's in regular order potentially, right?
Yeah, he could try to upcharge you with both of them, I guess. I have to think about how that gets done. If it gets done individually, I think it does.
Okay. So he wouldn't combine them.
I don't think you can do that. Any number of cavalry stacks may upcharge a moving enemy unit, but each charge is resolved separately. A portion of a stack cannot attempt upcharge. The entire stack must make the attempt, or none of it does. No cavalry unit can attempt to upcharge more than once in a single enemy movement segment. So okay, so just to be clear, he could do it with both, but he's gonna have to resolve them start to finish separately.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, which is interesting.
All right. So, well, let's move this guy in the back. That's simple. 1, 2, 3. That's easy
There you
to
go.
handle that one.
Yeah, that didn't require too much.
Yeah, exactly. And then we've got a couple other people here. Trying to figure out how to kind of cover my ass with some of these folks. All right, so this guy could go 1, 2, 3, 4, and kind of cover this guy's flank, right?
Yes, I see. Because if somebody tried to move in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and this chap 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, on that previous one, does the upcharge they come within 2, right? 2?
So upcharge would be, yes, within 2 hex range.
That's what I thought. Okay,
So-
I could upcharge with that if I so decide.
Yes, you could. Yes, you could. And if so, you'd do that right now, actually, even before he'd move that other
Right.
unit.
That's
Here,
what
so
I-
let me move this guy back then.
No, I'm not going to.
Oh, okay. All right, well then this guy's going to end up over here facing that way then. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and maybe that'll bail him out. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, So this guy's going to move underneath this hex. So let
What?
me just. He was over here. He's going to go 1. So he's going to go here. So before I turn him. So 1,
Okay,
2,
yeah.
3, 4. And then he's going to go 5. And then he's going to go underneath that.
Okay.
So we have a stack, right? Like that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was just
All
kind of moving him in behind
Okay.
the other chap.
All right. Very good.
All right.
Doing anything with this guy?
Yeah, you know, I will. I'm gonna turn him and see what. Whoops, wrong guy.
Yep. Wrong guy.
Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and give him a little spin and see what happens. So we're gonna turn him that way
Alright.
first. Do you want to do anything exciting?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Cool.
All right.
All right. So that's the movement there, and so then I can try to see if I can get. Oh, the guy who's shaken, can he move his full normal movement?
Yeah. Yeah. He can move normally.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. All right. He just can't attack worth a crap at the moment.
Well, he can't attack at all.
Yeah.
He doesn't
yeah.
defend worth a crap.
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, and we'll just have him here so that he can
Mhm.
act as a barrier.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
nothing else, if the guy in front of him gets blown away, it prevents pursuit.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So then I'm going to try to see if I can get this guy to launch a charge.
All right
So-
then.
All right. So let me go ahead.
Remember,
And,
remember, it's +5 because of
Yeah,
your
well, thank you very
Genius
much.
King's die rolling.
Thank you very much, Koenig 71. So we pass.
I am putting the grocer in
Yeah.
the Friedrich der Grocer.
All right. So we're going to go forward 1, 2, and I guess 3, and hit this guy right here.
Yeah. Yeah, because the other guys all have people in their EZOC, they can't do anything about it. So,
Yep.
So yeah, so that all makes sense to me.
Okay.
So that's it for all your charge movement.
Yep. That was
all
the
your-
only charging
Okay.
things I was going to do.
All right, so the defender needs to go ahead and do a defender morale check, and that'll be at plus.
That might not be enough.
Well, it might not because it's at +3 +8. So unless he's an 18, which he isn't.
He is an 18.
He's an 18.
No shit. Yeah, that's I mean it's +3 for army morale, it's +5 for being disordered. That's it. So very efficient die rolling.
Yes, that's David's speciality.
So it seems.
Yeah. All right. So I've got. I guess we just flip things over and see what
Yep.
excitement happens. So
It's
I'm
going
a
to be
+4, +3 for the charge. I have a +7, +2 for heavy cavalry. So that's going to be a +9.
+9 altogether.
Yep.
Right. David's got a +4 and then +2 for heavy cavalry, so +6. So your net is +3,
Right.
and the odds are 2-1 because his strength points are halved for being disordered. So it's 2-1 +3, I think.
2 to 1 +3. All right. Let's roll the dice. See what we get. A 96.
Other 96.
So that's going to be a +6 altogether. So at 2 to 1, that is a 1d2r, if I'm looking at this correctly.
That seems believable.
Okay. All right, so I lose 1 and I'm disordered. And
Yeah,
this
1d2.
guy is disordered.
All right, and then you need to advance into the defender's hex, and you don't need to roll for pursuit because there's somebody in your zone of control immediately.
Okay, so there's no
And you don't have any
pursuit
choice
points.
about your facing. You had to face that way. So,
Okay.
so no pursuit, no nothing. We're just done.
Okay, so I will flip this happy chap over. And that concludes my portion of today's programming.
Oh, but we're not finished with you yet because it's your turn to roll for initiative.
Oh, here we go. 57. So that's going to be a tie, but that's going to push the clock forward.
Also going to move the clock. That's right. All right, try again.
All right, here we go. 06. So this is some sort of Austrian magical thing. Let's see. Free combat segment. Pick one command for close combat or fire combat.
Okay.
Ah.
A lot of choices.
And with cavalry, I can be one hex away, right?
No. With cavalry, it is a regular close combat segment. So
whatever is within a range of 3, you could charge.
You have to
right?
charge. You can't do anything prior to charging. All you can do is charge. So you have to be set up for the charge now. And some of your guys are, of course.
Yep. Both fire and close combat.
Yeah, so it's either one for the entire command. It's either or.
Oh, this.
Well, we've got our usual group of dedicated human beings watching. We've got Mark from Lodi. We've got Hex to Hex. We've got Meandering Mike. Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to Prague.
Is there no one from Kirchner, Ontario?
No, I'm surprised. I don't have William from Kirchner, Ontario on tonight, so maybe he'll pop in later. He was in the live stream last night. I had Stuka Joe on. So that was a lot of fun.
Nice.
We had a nice conversation and
Super
talked
nice
about
guy.
different kinds of games and all kinds of good stuff. So, yeah, it was fun.
All right. So, and this is actually free then, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so you'll still get the activation for whatever command it is that you're activating.
Do you have to make an initiative check, though?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
No.
Nope. Nope, this is just anybody you can trace command to and any independents that are stacked with members of your command that can trace to the leader. Just you do you.
Gonna help me the most. Sorry, I'm taking so long here. It's just. So he has to be in range of his commander, though, right?
The
Yeah.
the units need to be in range of the formation leader,
Right.
but you don't need to be able to trace all the way back to Maria Teresa.
That's very convenient.
All right. Let's try. Better off there, aren't they? Better off trying to just do a fire. Let me think of this. That's
You know, if you can't think of something, I'm sure Michael and I could use that instead.
You could punt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
you
we'll
could totally
just
punt.
we will just take that free combat.
Like we said, it's a friendly war.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, for the most part, everyone is still speaking German here.
That's true, except for some, odd Grenzers.
Yeah, there's probably a few Croats and some
Maybe a
Poles
few
in the mix
Hussars,
here.
actually,
Yeah,
now that I think about it, right?
yeah, some Czechs. But I'm sure German is their second language if they don't have the first one figured out yet.
Well, I'm sure they're accustomed to being yelled at in German anyway.
Exactly.
All right.
Aren't we all?
I don't know. Let's go with Spada, and I will attempt to attack down here that lone cavalry unit and get this little thorn out of my side right here.
Oh, wow.
yes.
Okay.
Spada is so Spada's here, right?
Right.
And so
Right.
these three
And
guys are Spada-esque.
No, he's not Spada.
Oh, he's not. Okay.
Oh, he is Spada.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
That's right. He is. No. I was thinking he was the other guy. No, but wait a minute, because I was thinking he was. Yeah, he's Spada, isn't he?
Got multiple Spadas.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it seems like, not to give the enemy any ideas, but it seems like them facing east would be more reasonable than facing west.
Yeah. So that's what I was thinking. So, yeah, let's do all three then. Let's see what happens.
All right. Here we go.
Because all right, because this may just completely blow them for any use of AI. But all right, so I got to do a pre-melee charge check, right?
For
Yep.
all three of them, yeah.
Okay, so we'll start with this one.
Okay.
and Let's see, he is and he's probably
23,
not-
he's half dead. What does that do?
No, oh dear.
That would have been the next one.
Yeah, that's well, at least that's a special result, isn't it? So you at least get a chance. That first one's almost certainly a failure because he was at plus 13.
He's at 23, and he.
Yeah, so he's shaken now and will not participate in the combat. The next one, though, rolled a 0-9, so that's a special result on
If the unit stacked with a
Pre-melee.
leader check, re-roll with a +5 to the ER modifier.
if he's stacked with a leader, the check is passed. Otherwise, re-roll with a plus
Right.
5.
He's not
Yeah.
stacked with leader, so he'll have a
Right, so
+5.
re-roll with a plus 5. Unfortunately, you can't get a special on a special, so he's shaken too.
And he can't go. Boy, I'm doing wonderful here.
Yeah.
What?
This is
So-
the
so
last
this
time
is-
you get, and remember, it's free. It's free.
Yeah, this is the best free you've ever gotten, right?
Yeah. All right. And the last one here. What he?
Holy moly!
with a -3, so that's going to be a 25. So he just
just
barely
what he needed.
passes.
Wow,
Okay.
man.
Oh.
All right.
All right. So then
So-
I have to make my check, correct?
Right, and your check's going to be at +20, +10 for half dead,
Right.
+10 more for being outflanked.
Right. And then +5
And then
for the
+5
morale level.
because your king's an idiot. So
Right.
+25.
So +25.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right. And I failed.
So you are shaken.
Yep.
So this is really just the battle of the cowards here. Okay.
Well,
So, gosh, what is it? It's 7-1 odds. Is that right?
yeah. I mean, it's off the chart, right? It's a 6-1.
Yeah.
And I've got, I mean, I'm shaken, so I don't know what that does to me.
That's -5.
Right. And I'm a 5, so that means I'm a 0.
So you're. Well, it's actually worse than that.
Okay.
Because you're half dead, your combat
Oh,
value.
yeah. So he
Gets
would be worth
halved, so
3.
So you're really just a +3. So you're actually
I'm a
-2.
-2. Okay.
He, on the other hand, is 3 +2 because he's facing you.
Right.
That's 5. So that looks like 6-1 +7.
Okay. So he needs to roll something
That's all?
What do you mean that's all?
Well, remember, you didn't actually charge, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. I forgot the fact that you hit him in the flank, so it's another +3. So it's
Yeah, okay.
6-1 +10.
Right.
That's
So roll a 0 and make me laugh. No, that's enough. They're toast.
It's
so I
still
got
a 5.
+50.
Yeah. But that becomes then a 15.
No. Oh, you're right. It's 5 the other way.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh. Yeah. That's not good.
Yeah.
He
That
surrendered.
is surrender.
We could, I mean, they did their job.
They did.
They
They
did.
did. They apparently scared the hell out of all the guys east of them.
Yeah. Whoops.
So that's something.
And let's see, I'm going to do my facing that way. And there's no
Seems legit.
is there no pursuit? I would.
What are you going to pursue?
Yeah, there's nothing to pursue. You're all busy rounding up the 50 prisoners.
Uh,
Okay. So that marks the end of that.
all
Roll
right. So
again.
it's back for me since I rolled a special.
Oh,
And so now it's going to be an Austrian move. And hey, we move the clock forward again, right?
yet again. Wow.
We're just burning up
Okay.
the clock here.
All right.
You sure are.
So let's first I'm going to activate all the way at the top. Peroni.
All right. Pepperoni.
Peroni. So they're gonna just continue their road march. Is that right?
Yeah, right into the face of those.
That's the way to do it.
Right.
That is the way to do it.
Yes. All right. Okay. So now let me figure out movement things here. What's formations? Which way is it? If I'm going to my right. Or, let's see.
Oh yeah, the whole
Column
turning
13.
thing is a
March column to line. 3 going to the right. So. Dang, I should have done it the other. All right.
Oh yeah, because you're Austrian. Wow, that's pretty brutal. It's not much better for the Prussians, but that does kind of make it interesting with how you approach a battle.
It totally does.
Which way then
absolutely.
you're going to then pivot, so that way you
That's
don't
right.
spend 5 million movement points trying to get your guys lined up properly.
Yeah. I mean, if you have the choice, you would far rather, march your guys over to the right and then just pivot them all facing to the left
Yeah.
Now they're in line. Yeah, that's the way you'd like to go. Otherwise, you end up counter marching because, by God, the senior company needs to be on the right.
All right.
They did spend a lot of time worrying about niceties.
Yeah. So he's coming out of into column
Okay,
1,
right.
and 3 to go into line. I mean, that's don't want to be sitting there in column.
No, you really don't.
So that's my
Now,
4.
did he roll to put himself in command?
No, but
I mean, because rapid march is an option if he puts himself in command.
he is in command.
So, if you wanted to,
Nope, I'm not trusting myself.
Yeah, after those close combat rolls, I could see why you might be slightly resistant.
he's just lulling us into a false sense of security.
It's working.
All right, so the next one's moving into here for 1/2. You'll be facing that way. Whoops. What do I do here? And so that's 1/2. Come out of road. 1 and 1/2.
Okay.
And into line this direction. That's 2.
So that's 3.5.
3.5. Yep.
Okay.
Do I want to? I'm okay there. All right. There's only 3 units in this thing.
Yeah, and to think I spent all that time worrying about them. They looked more impressive when they were all stretched out on the road.
I thought there were 4 in there.
Yeah, I'm only showing 2 battalions of ACO and 1 of SPR. At least that's what's showing on the order of battle chart.
Yeah, that makes sense because that's what's there.
Yeah.
Not to worry, you'll turn the flank. It's all good.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to go 1, come out of road 2, and then 3, 4, 5 into line.
Okay.
Take a check. That should be enough for the disorder check.
Yeah, it's only +5. He'd have to be pretty awful.
Not, he's pretty good. And,
Okay, Mr. Peroni Beer.
all right.
All right. And guess what? It's your turn to roll the dice.
It
Dave.
is, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I get
Whoa,
a
whoa, another Austrian move. What the heck?
Tell you.
So that +2 initiative is really paying off for us, don't you see?
Yes.
That and the extra +2 army morale we missed out on.
It's okay. It's okay. You are called Frederick the Great for... You're not called Frederick the Great for nothing, right? We have faith in you. Come on.
There's got to... Yeah, it's because I play the violin very well.
Yeah. Well, there's... I don't remember anyone, calling Brown the Great, right?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
In fact, they called him the late Brown shortly after this battle.
Was he? What did he get wounded, or did he have tuberculosis or something that finished him off, or syphilis or some other typically Austrian, typically
Please.
Austrian?
I'm trying to remember if he got wounded here.
Yeah.
But I think he did. That is my recollection.
Okay.
And then he go. Alas for the Austrians, at some point during their moment of victory, Brown was struck down with what proved to be a mortal wound to his leg. Although still alive, he was lost on the battlefield until eventually discovered and removed to Prague in the general retreat. And I think he was ill already.
Yeah.
Or maybe
I seem to recall that he was
crisscrossing
ill. He had
somebody else.
tuberculosis, or he had some
Yeah.
sort of nasty thing weakening him. So, well, that's if you're gonna go, that's probably the best way to go there, right?
What? With a bullet?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and die on the field of battle, right?
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how awesome it is, but I mean it reads better.
Well, I mean, otherwise it's this long malingering thing here with tuberculosis or whatever might take you out. So,
Good times.
well, I'm not sure about that, but it's times.
It's times.
It's times. Not sure if it's good, but definitely times. So,
Oh, goodness. How we doing, David?
Yeah, I'm trying to make a decision here. Let's see. I think I'm going to do. Let's see if disorders move at half, right?
Mm-hmm.
yep. If they're lucky, they do.
And they need to be
Mhm.
grateful for that.
I don't know. So many decisions here. Okay. All right.
Do, 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 do. Well, where are we at?
He's pondering.
Same pondering. I think I am going to. So many choices here.
Yeah, there's no shortage of commands.
Yeah, and there's kind of an increasing number of crisis points. So,
Yep, you've got the situation at Kej. You've got the
You got
stuff with the cavalry.
you got the stuff at the earthworks on the other side of the pond from Kaj.
Oh, yeah. Although, wouldn't
mean,
it
he's
make
just-
sense to hold off until you got closer and then?
Oh, no. To be fair, yes. From his perspective, he's already in the position he needs to be in. He
Yeah.
doesn't really need to worry about that. And they're too far away to shoot at.
Right.
But just things attracting his attention, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
All right. I think I'm going to do. AI.
AI. I?
Hi. And there's units there, and there, and there.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
They're all over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these guys are out of command, right?
Well, except they're stacked with a non-command leader. So if you want to activate Lucchese, then they can be attached.
So is that
actually
a separate command, or it
Nope,
is?
nope,
Oh, okay.
nope. The non-command leader was used to attach those guys to the activation.
Interesting. Okay. I guess we did the same thing when we had those guys marching down the road, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't think it's AI. I think it's AL because that's Althan.
AL? Okay. Oh,
It looks like
yeah,
Althan.
it probably is. That's why I
Althan,
made
yeah.
that mistake last week, didn't
Yeah.
I? All right. So let's, all right, so we'll start right with this guy here. No, do I want it? No, he's fine. He doesn't need this. We'll start with this guy here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this guy here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Oh, just in case. He was in command, just in case. And there we go.
Oh.
And let's see, where do I want to put those? Okay,
I used the wrong term, excuse me. Attachment is if you take people from another command and attach them to this formation temporarily by having either
by
because they're
having
stacked
leader.
with the command leader or stacked with a non-command leader, which is what we were doing because we were trying to correlate them with
The other
Bevan's
people come
guys
down,
or
yeah.
something. What we're doing here is called automatic in command. It's 7.5 on page 9. A combat unit belonging to an activated command that cannot trace an LOC from its command leader is automatically in command when it is stacked with its army leader or wing leader.
Right. And
Interestingly, it points out there
Lucchese-
that the army or wing leader doesn't have to be activated to do this, and the wing leader doesn't have to be in command either. The wing leader may only do this for units of its subordinate command. So actually, you don't even have to activate Lucchese. Although you might anyway. Just depends on what you want to do. So I was so busy looking up rules, I wasn't paying attention to what he's doing.
He's trying to reorganize his lines now. We're both like trying to reorganize ourselves after the disaster that has been unfolding.
Enough boom and zoom, and the lines all need to be redressed.
All right, was that it? Are you going to flip him over, or are you going to do any charges?
I'm debating whether I want to burn that guy. Let's see. Yeah, and this one here, I'm going to there. So if you want to reaction or whatever it is, you could.
No, I'm happy.
Okay.
I'll give you a chance to tidy up your lines.
All right.
No wonder the war went on for 7 years. It was so much fun.
There we go.
Who wanted to quit?
Well, I'm sure all the little virtual, you know,
I don't
cardboard
want to
that
move.
is
I
dying
want to
here.
be this guy one further back. I don't want him to have more squares covered there. Okay.
There you go.
All right. Is that it?
Still not great. Okay. Yep. That's it.
It's still I think it's my roll.
Yep.
Indeed, we're back to you again. Oh, another big one, but this time at least it's our activation.
One for us this time. Yep. So, do you still need stuff, or has he been closing off some of your doors?
Well, as far as the stuff with the heavies, I still want to keep the one open, like here with the Prince of Württemberg. So I don't want to use that one yet, but I think I could use some stuff here down in the south with my light cavalry to kind of grind up a few more of his, well, basically wipe out what's left of his light cavalry and start getting prepared to
and then turn north.
turn the flank. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm thinking, let's see who is handy here. Looks like that's Nordum. Yeah, I think I'll activate Nordum if I can. He's right here. So I roll one die for him. Well, he's within range of Zeton for what it's worth, but does that matter, or he still has to make his check?
No, he needs to, and the reason is because he's not part of a detachment.
Oh, okay.
So these guys are really just counting on their own initiative to know what to do.
So I rolled a 9, which is in excess of his thing. He's a 6.
Yeah. So again, though, for cavalry, it's not nearly as stringent, right?
Yeah.
So it basically means no rapid marching.
Okay. All right. Well, I can handle that.
There's not much else that it really means.
Okay. All right. So he's still got. So let's go ahead then and check for disordered units. So these guys are disordered. Let's roll for them and see if they recover. They do. God, we got big numbers we're rolling here tonight, aren't we? Who else is part of that? Nope, those aren't part.
Where are all of them?
Oh, here's some that are disordered and shaken. Let's go ahead and roll for them and see if they at least get out of their disordered state. 82. Yep. All right, so now let's...
Yeah, that looks like all of them.
Yep.
Did he lose a couple?
No, they're just kind of spread out. So
No, just spread out. Okay.
yeah,
All right.
yeah. So what I got to do now is figure out where to position people for maximum damage. And he doesn't have a whole hell of a lot left over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll take care of that guy. All right. So I'll move this chap first. So everyone's in command currently. So let's go ahead and I'll turn him. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, those two guys can take out that chap. What's here? Those guys aren't a hell of a beans right now. Okay. All right, and then these guys are going to go up 1, 2, and they're going to turn 3, so they could go 1, 2, 3, 4, and hit those poor bastards.
Right.
All right, and well, actually, they'll move one more hex over this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. That we can go. All right, then these guys are going to come up here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, and then they're going to turn. There's 4, and 1, 2, and they're going to turn 3 and 4. All right, and then we will go ahead and put Nordum here with those chaps. And then these guys over here, whoops, the ones that are shaken, let's go ahead and move them. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they move 7. So and then they're going to turn 7.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't think you could do what you just did.
Really?
There was a lot of snaking around you had to do, and I don't think you counted all the turns.
Okay, so
There.
if he goes here, that's 1,
That's right.
right? And
Yep.
then he turns, that's 2.
That's right.
Okay, and so then 3, 4,
Mhm.
5, and then he can go here, I guess, what, 6? Yeah, and this guy can't do anything, right? And then I can turn.
Well, actually, that'd be 6, 7, because it's
Oh,
enemy's
because
own
it's a zone.
control.
So here's 5, and then I will turn there like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted him
Yeah.
over here kind of facing that general direction.
No, that all good. All
Yeah.
good.
Well, or let's see. No, let's see. Fiddlesticks. Let's turn him around the other way. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we'll turn him 7 that way. Okay? I just need to
Right.
get him kind of back where he's
Yeah.
kind of
sure.
in command with the other guys. So, okay,
Yeah.
that's where I'll put
all
him.
good.
Okay. All right. So now we can do some charges or potential charges. So these guys are going to charge. These guys are going to try to charge. These guys are going to
What
charge.
square is this guy on?
These guys. He's on this one that's right here that he's stacked with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right. So you got 4 stacks.
Yep. So we'll go with this
Okay.
chap. This one up here first.
Okay.
32. I'm pretty sure that's more than enough, even with the +3. Yeah, they're
Oh,
going to go. All right, so let's go ahead and mark them as charging. All right, these chaps here, 52, they are good, and they're going to charge. These chaps here, 96, they're very motivated. And so they're going to charge. And then these chaps here, 46, they're going to charge as well. All right, so in no particular order, I do the charges first, and then we do the melee
Yep,
as it
Yep.
plays
All the
out.
charge movement gets
Okay.
done 1 stack at a time.
All right, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, and then this guy's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and this chap's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and this chap's going to go 1, 2, 3. All right, and so then that's our charge movement.
Right.
All right,
Seems legit.
there we go. They like legit. Okay, so then let's go ahead and do, I guess, this one first. They're routed. So is there, and we just go straight to
yeah.
pursuit movement?
Yeah, I don't know. Just yeah, it happens so rarely that actually I'm checking. 13.7 and a defender that is already routed does not make a morale check, but loses 1 SP and route retreats. So that's what we do with that guy.
Okay, and there's no pursuit?
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
I just said that he would route retreat, which
Oh, okay.
then would then lead us to pursuit.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he's just got 2 increments left at this point. All right. So then I roll for pursuit points. I move
And you
forward.
gotta move into a space. Yep,
Right.
exactly. Now you roll for pursuit.
Okay. And I have 8 pursuit points. So I can use 2
Yep.
to destroy him. So I'll go ahead and do that.
Okay. So move forward the 2 hexes.
1, 2. Whoops. 1, 2. Okay.
All right.
And then I can turn in a direction. Or do I make my morale check and then turn?
Yeah, we talked about this last time, didn't we?
Yeah.
But the order that it happens in. At least 1 pursuit point must have been expended on pursuit movement, and there must be at least 1 pursuit point remaining. If the pursuing player successfully recalled his cavalry before any PPs were expended, there is no free movement, regardless of the number available. A unit or stack that fails its recall disorder check can still use free movement. Okay. So you can roll to recall now, or you can wait until you're. Is that right? During free movement. It's funny. We literally talked about this a week ago, and I can't remember.
Yeah. Well, at this point, the recall only determines whether he's disordered or not, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, because even if you fail the disorder check, you can still use free movement.
Yeah.
Right.
So, although that kind of that suggests that you must do the recall now.
Yeah.
So do the recall now. And in
Okay.
fact, that actually might be useful to you because it would color like where you want to be, perhaps.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. All right, so we pass our check.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
All right, so you still got 6 points left. You can turn in 2 hexes. You can turn as far as you want in those 2 hexes, but you can only turn in 2 hexes. And otherwise, it's basically just cost you.
That cost me 1 to turn, 2 hex facing.
It cost you 1, no matter how many hex facings you do, but you can only do them in 2 different hexes during the total free movement.
All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and what? 5, 6.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Good. There's my thing.
Very
All right.
good.
We'll go ahead and then do this one down here.
All right, and he's going to be plus 28 for his morale check.
Oh, he's going to stick around and fight.
Really wants somebody to write a letter home to his wife.
My one increment is sad.
Yeah, so it's going to be on a 6-to-1 chart. All right, so let's go ahead and they were as brave as my poor bastards that got overrun there in just a second.
Yeah, that's right.
So, all right, so I've got a +4 for the unit, +3 for the number of hexes I moved. So that's +7 altogether, +1 for being light cavalry. Is that correct?
Yep, that
so I have
sounds right to me.
+8.
And he's got 2 halved to 1, minus 5, so -4, and then +1, so -3 altogether.
All right, so then that means I got a +11.
Yeah, 6-to-1 plus 11.
Here we go.
Oh my goodness!
There's our army morale check.
No, it's not an army morale
No,
check.
I know. I'm joking.
But
Let's
it's good to get
see.
out of the way.
All right, so a 0, 0, it's a 1M for me and a 3M for you. Well, I mean, there's only one increment left, so they're dead. And then, but they at least take one guy out on the way. So I
Well
lose
done.
an increment.
Well done. And because there ain't nobody left, there's no need for morale checks.
And no pursuit points either, or pursuit.
No.
Okay, and I
You do
occupy the
advance
hex.
into the
Yep.
defender's hex, and then you can turn whichever way you want.
Okay. Let's go ahead and turn them. What do you even have left over here?
Couple of routed guys.
Yeah, not a whole hill of beans. Okay. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, well, he'll be out of command next turn. All right. All right, let's do this one here.
All right, that's going to be plus 18 for the morale check there.
And that failed.
So that makes him shaken and disordered now. So what do we got? We got 14 increments coming in on effectively 2, so it's 7 to 1.
Yeah. And I've got plus 4, plus another 4 for going in the charge. So that's plus 8, plus my leader is plus 2. So I got a plus 10, plus 11.
Plus 3 more for flank.
Okay, so I got a plus 14.
Plus 14, and he's got minus 3.
Minus 5 would be minus 4, right?
Well, he's not half dead, so he's still plus 2. Minus 5 makes it minus 3.
Okay.
So but
I've
that's
got,
still like that's 17 is the difference, isn't it?
yeah. Okay, so here we go. We got a 6 to 1
result.
with a. Yeah, I know. I'm good at that. Yeah. So they're gonna surrender.
Surrender.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't want to worry about this little pesky light cavalry anyways, right?
Right.
I'm doing my best to.
Just think about how much easier it'll be in future turns when you don't have to worry about them.
Yeah.
All right. The next one is plus 10, plus 25, plus 28, plus 38.
Make your die roll.
That means he routes.
Yeah.
Right. And so he's going to lose one.
And
And then
that's
he's
his
gone,
last
yeah.
increment, so he just disappears.
All right. And then I advance into the hex and I
That's
can
right.
change my facing, correct?
That's right.
Okay, cool. All right.
Just wiping up the table.
Well, got to do something over here on this side. Wasn't that my job? Isn't that what the king told me to do? I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's what
And
the king
it's
said.
going to come to the rescue of your somewhat hard-pressed, heavier brethren.
Yep. All right,
Even
so
even
that's
though you're
gonna.
light cavalry, there's a ton of you.
Yeah, and that's really nice stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Nordum is done.
Okay. Who rolled that?
I think you did.
I think I did, actually.
Yeah, we've gone
So
full
that's you
circle.
then, Eric.
Okay, here we go. 35, so we're a tie again, but no adjustment to the turn
Right.
chart.
Right.
And here we got a 1-0. All right,
Uh-oh.
so this is
That's
a-
not good. That's fate.
oh my gosh, again?
Again.
Again?
Good at that one.
I know. I'm very good for that one. All right. So then we roll a die and see who is it that
Yes,
potentially
you roll
bites
a
the
single
dust.
die.
See
Here we
who it
go.
affects.
So we want to roll a 4, 5, or a 6.
No, you want a 9.
Who's Charles? Oh, he's your other guy. A 7. Okay, that's Charles. I don't even think he's on the map, is he?
Charles isn't in this scenario, is he?
No, I don't think so. All
That's
right.
interesting.
Somewhere, his horse stumbled somewhere on the battlefield.
Uh,
I mean,
See
do
what
we?
happens to him. Maybe I
Yeah,
can
let's
get
go ahead and
points
roll and
for
see
it.
if he bites the dust. A 9. No effect. All right. A little musket ball whistled past his hat. A little bit of his plume got trimmed away.
yeah, it's funny. It doesn't really specifically say. It may say in somewhere else. What do you do if you roll somebody who isn't in the scenario? Do you just let it go? And I expect you would.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. I'll try
Try
to roll
again.
again. Here we
This
go.
time with
With
feeling.
feeling, indeed. Well, we've got priority here,
Another
but we
advance
do
of the clock.
push the clock.
Alrighty.
Okay. So, do I want to do something with my other light cavalry here? Or do you need to do something in particular?
Well, yeah, I mean, I for sure had several activations I wanted to do, but the rate we're running down the end turn, I'm not really sure I'm going to get to, but there's one of them for sure that I'd like to do first.
Okay.
Now,
Well,
does he have to finish with the light cavalry?
no, because they are an independent. They're not.
Right.
They're not part of the other detachment.
Right.
The detachment, the guys in the middle.
Yeah. So if I'd moved one of the infantry, then I'd have an issue where I'd have to keep moving the
Right.
infantry, or I'd have to. Well, they would be a limited activation for whatever's left of the turn, right?
Anybody left in the detachment, if you go to the detachment, then go to somebody else, then everybody else remaining in the detachment is limited activations only.
Yeah.
Correct. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Although at the rate we're going, it's going to be a lot of limited activations coming up pretty soon.
Potentially.
The way we're blasting our way down the line there. So,
All right. So I'll go ahead and tip one in your favor, which means then that you're going to need to finish up. I mean, we can still bounce back to light cavalry,
Of
and
course.
we can still bounce back to Winterfeld.
Absolutely.
But otherwise, you've got to finish things up on your side before I can do anything with my infantry. So, all right, what are you going to do?
Oh, yes, I take your meaning. Okay. Here I am looking. I think we got to do Kleist.
Okay.
So I will do that. Right, and this is just a single activation. And I believe everybody is in command except for those two routed guys in the back. They don't count.
Right.
And the king's going to have words with them if they go running past him.
There you go. He's going to say
Kleist isn't in range of.
he is. Here's
Okay.
here's his wing commanders right there.
Oh, his wing is. Oh,
Yeah.
That's,
Right. And actually, if you count the road, he probably is anyway.
oh, that's true. Yeah, I forgot the road thing.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, so he should be all right. Okay. Nobody's disordered, so I guess we'll just go ahead and move on to fire combat next.
Going to activate some guns because you got these guys down here, right? And you've got this guy, and these are guns here too, right? Yeah. You got a
Yeah,
bunch.
those are guns there. I was just trying to decide if that actually made any difference. I don't think I feel the need.
Okay.
So I'll keep it local here. So we'll go ahead and start with him, and these are musketeers, so they're ×4. So it's going to be 1.5 to 1 shooting at this guy here.
60.
I think that's just enough at 1.5 to 1.
It is. It's 1 for 1 single hit and an M.
Yeah, just 1 hit. Okay, all right. Super efficient die rolling here. All right.
Ooh,
And
0-9.
Special result for the morale check. So that is, if stacked with a leader, the check is passed. Is stacked with a leader, so there you go.
There you go.
That was easy, wasn't it? All right, and then we'll go to this next one here. He's still got 4 increments left, so those 4 increments will fire here, and so that's going to be, again, 1.5 to 1. No size modifier, so just 1.5 to 1 straight up. And that's going to be enough for... That's also 1 hit, but no morale check this time.
This is how we're slowly chipping away at them. Is that the idea?
That's the idea. All right, so then we'll go to the movement phase. And...
So isn't there more shooting you can do?
Oh, that's right. I got this 2 hex range stuff. I wasn't even... Whoops. I'm not even sure how I did that. And I think we determined last time that... Well, there was something squirrely about this, because it's ×2. So each one of them's capable of generating 8 strength points.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy's got defense. Oh, right. Yeah, this guy halves my fire attack strength.
Right, being in the field works.
Being in the field works,
Yeah.
right. So, let's
So it's
see.
8 to 10.
So that would be... Yes, it'd be 8 to 10. So it'd be, if both of those hexes fired, it would be 1.5 to 1. 1 to 1.5. 1 to 1.5. That's right.
And then you would get a plus for the size, because he's got.
Yeah, for sure.
He's got 8 plus 7. He's got 15.
Right.
So it's a plus 15, but then he's in the. Is there anything for being in the field work?
Well, no,
it's just half.
Because that's why I halved my attack factor.
Okay. So you have
so
a plus
it's 1
15.
to 1.5 plus 15. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that.
Okay.
All right, so we'll just try that and see what we get. Not enough.
Yeah.
Not enough. What can you do? All right, so that's how baseball goes. And then we will march. Now, I don't know that the rules really talk about this. And that's a very odd thing for me to say.
Yes.
Because the order of things in a stack
I know usually with Labatai, the unit that's at the top of the stack is the front
Right.
unit, and the ones that are further behind are in the rear.
Right.
Um,
During the movement segment, units of an activated command may voluntarily change their stacking order before expending any MPs, and also when their movement is completed. Once a stack begins expending MPs, it may not voluntarily change its stacking order until it ceases its movement. Okay. That I'm struggling with that a little bit, so let's just talk it out.
sure.
I have a thought.
Right. So are you trying to stack something with something that's already in the front?
Oh, you know what? I don't think I can do it anyway. Because I don't think I have enough movement points. Because no, I'm in command. I can do that if I want to. So yeah, what I'm thinking is if I move this guy here,
Yeah.
nobody argues that I can't do it.
Yeah.
But it feels weird to me that, well, first of all, I'm totally okay with the fact that he can move into that hex and there is no op fire.
Correct.
Because you can't even see the guy.
Yeah.
But to me, to rearrange the stacking and put him at the top, to me, implies movement. That's not what the rule says. But it feels really weird that I could actually have the lines pass through each other and the defenders don't get a shot. But if I turned, they'd get a shot.
Well, but you're not really passing through in the same sense as you do if you're moving through to the other side.
Well, but I mean, effectively I am, right? That the existing unit is covering the frontage
Right.
of the hex. If I wanted this new unit to be on top, that means I want him to be in front. He has to pass through the line of guys that are already there. I mean, I know what you mean. He's not leaving the hex, but he is physically having to move through the other unit. It feels weird to me that the rules seem to suggest that they can move up, jump to the top, and the defenders are just standing there letting me do it.
Well,
David is meticulous about the rules, doubly so when they benefit him.
Of course, but I mean, as far as I know, the rules say what they do, and that's basically what it says. But and you don't expend movement points by rearranging a stack.
Right. It's just you do it at the beginning of the end. Well, that's the end because obviously I'm not moving any farther. Just feels weird. But,
well, I mean, there's going to be if you attack, there's going to be defensive fire, or in his fire phase, he's going to shoot at you. So,
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. No, there's no question. It seems just very smooth to just be able to slide right on through this kind of battered unit and put a fresher unit in front. Just seems funny.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
we're the Prussians. We've been training for this for
Since
quite a while.
Diapers.
This
Yeah.
is exactly. I mean, this is the sort of maneuver we do all the time.
Oh yeah.
If it's the Austrians, it's totally different matter.
Absolutely. All right. Well, fine. Well, that's what I'm doing. And then this fella is going to move 1, 2, and did we decide that it's? I guess it'll be 3, 4, 5 to move into this hex because of the slope.
Yeah, moving down
in the zone of control.
Yeah, crossing a slope is +1 in line.
Crossing the stream. Don't cross the stream. Okay. He needs to roll for a disorder check.
All right, special thing. Is there a special disorder thing?
It's a movement action Prussian 6. So if the unit's printed as 26 or more with a +10, otherwise with a +0. All right. And the unit was this one.
On the top. No, the one that had the hit.
No, it's the one who had the increment lost
Okay.
already. So it's 24, so
24.
basically with no ER. So just basically. Okay, so he's all right. Okay, well, that was fun. All right, well, then we'll go ahead and declare close combat here. And so I will go ahead and roll for the prelim melee morale check. Making this
Here's
really
another
more
one.
exciting than I should.
So 06, if the unit is stacked with a leader, it passes.
Okay. Whoa, God, I'm making this more exciting than I need to.
I know. You're getting all the
Okay.
zeros out of the way.
Exactly. All right, so that's it for me. I wasn't going to do any others, so we'll go ahead and resolve this attack. You'll never guess who's attacking who.
And I'm shaken.
Oh, goodness. Okay, well, that doesn't help much. So, all right, the odds are 13-5. I think there's only a 2-1 and then a 3-1 column on close combat. Yeah, there's not a 2.5-1. Okay. My top 4 increments, well, I'll just flip everybody over. Top 4 increments are +4. Boy, Kleist is serious. He's another +3, so that's +7 there. And you've got +4 -5, so -1?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's then 2-1 +8.
That's what it
We'll
sounds
see
like.
how that goes. 2-1 +8.
So
that's
it's going to be a
7
7 on the 2-1 chart.
2-1 chart.
So you lose 1. David loses 3 in routes.
Okay. Lose 1. It needs to be the unit that is the biggest one. So he will take that.
And the infantry go back 4.
That's right.
Okay. And
Yep.
cavalry go back 6. All right.
Right. And, you know, you can be indifferent to terrain. So
Right.
obviously, if you were trying to retreat from cavalry, retreating across that marsh is exactly what you'd do because it'll slow their pursuit down.
Right.
In this case, it doesn't matter, of course. All right. And I will advance and turn. And that's it for...
Well, it took you like 3 attempts, but you finally did it.
I know. It's like, this should have been easy, boys.
Yeah.
Including you two, these yahoos that are back here who just
Yeah.
can't handle it.
Yeah.
Good Lord. But at least I got the corner now, so that makes me feel better.
Okay. Well, now you have a
All
nice, pretty line. So,
Mm-hmm.
okay. I think it's David's turn to roll the dice.
Okay.
Where's my cursor here? There it is. Okay. Oh. All right. That's a wing for you guys.
It's a wing for
Ooh,
us,
just-
a wing and a
just
prayer.
one. Ooh.
Well, why don't you go ahead and do something with yours? I don't have any winglets to do anything with.
Now, does he have to continue with that
He has to
detachment?
continue with his part of the army.
Well, no. To be clear, we don't
Yeah.
have to continue.
Right.
Right, but I
It's
mean,
it's just that we had kind of agreed from a strategic perspective, since we're running short on activations. If I had 3 activations I wanted to do, probably ought to go ahead and do them before we switch over to the detachment in the middle.
Right.
Yeah, but there's no obligation because this is actually the main army here. Okay, so who?
So you do have Bevern over here, who's got all those guys on the Kaiserstrasse,
Right.
and you got the guys up by the Fletches. You've got a couple of different options depending on what
Yeah,
you
I
want to
really
do.
do. In fact, I think I'm gonna look and see. Oh, Braunschweig's awesome. And KN and PN are his 2 leaders, and he can easily reach everybody. Okay, all right. Well, let's go for it. So we'll go ahead and do Braunschweig here, and see if he succeeds in doing his wing activation.
Why would he fail?
Oh, you're right. He's right
I
by
mean,
the king.
yeah.
He doesn't even need to roll. My bad. Well, I rolled a 0 just to get it out of the way.
Well, there you go.
All right.
Save it for a special day.
They're activated. There is one disordered unit right underneath him. So that guy gets undisordered. And
There's one
there's
with
a disordered
Tanwitz
unit
here.
here as well.
Yeah.
So we'll undisorder him. Oh, the Prussian efficiency. It's truly awesome. Okay. All right, so now we'll go ahead and see how much mischief we can get into. And so we will start movement. I will move him there. I'm sure you get a shot at me. At whatever your 2-hex range is.
even though I was and you were in the trees?
Oh, wait a minute. Let's be clear about the special rules. I'm sorry. Since I was playing Fontenoy so much here recently, I have the Fontenoy rules in my head. So let's make sure we understand the facing implications of Fieldworks hex sides. Do not block line of sight. Order the defender. So there was a thing in Fontenoy's Fieldworks that basically everything was facing forward.
Yeah, and I think that I remember that's in here too.
Okay, I was just looking for it.
But when you were in the trees.
Well, that's okay. It just means it's harder to hit me.
But I can hit you at 2 in the trees? Okay.
Well, you got 4 increments times 2. That's 8. 8 into 15. It's only going to be 1 to 2 odds. I mean, you could do it.
Well, I'm curious. Does this block line of sight?
Half blocked. Okay, so
Yeah.
you could really only have 2 increments fire. So it'd really be 4 to 15. So it's really not even. It's okay. It'll be 1 to 3. I'm still looking for where it says that everything's a front-facing hex.
It doesn't. Let's see. Where did it say?
Fieldworks differentiation is also represented. I feel like that would make sense.
Well, why don't you keep moving your stuff and we'll look it up? Because
Yeah, sure. All right. That's 1, 2. It's 1, 2, 3, I should say. That's 1, 2. And I don't know what just happened there. And that's 3, 4, 5, and he's going to have to roll for a disorder check. He's all right. Morale bonus, yes. In addition, any unit that meets these conditions is considered to project a front facing through every adjacent fieldworks hex side. This can potentially give such a unit 3 or 4 front hexes. For a 2 hex line to benefit from fieldworks, both hexes must be covered by fieldworks hex sides. Okay, I just needed to see it and feel better about it. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, crap. That means that I don't get the advantage of the fieldworks for the bottom one,
Oh,
right?
shit, that is exactly what it means.
Because actually I had been contemplating changing that because but all right. Too late for that.
Yeah, okay, good times, all right.
No, it's not.
Well, and then the other thing I saw here is that the fire attack on the fieldworks isn't halved if you're adjacent.
What?
Yeah, it says right here, it was there on page 10, right? In order for the defender to receive the morale bonus, blah, 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 blah. Fire strength of the fire is directed to the defender is halved unless the firer is in an adjacent hex. An artillery unit. So, I mean, it's right there at section E under fieldworks.
E, fire strength of fire directed at a defender behind fieldworks is halved unless the firer is in an adjacent hex. So
Yeah.
really, it's effectively, well, I mean, I guess it's...
I mean, it's basically protecting you
It's
from
either
artillery and longer
or
range
2x
musketry.
range fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, I had no idea. I don't know if Fontenoy does that. Okay, wow. So
Well, it won't affect the one below because that was a 2 hexes where we've had it before.
correct. Okay, wow. Well, that's all very confusing. Okay, so he just moved 2 hexes, so that meant that he moved through. He moved through the woods, so he definitely has to roll morale disorder. 09.
Probably the same thing as what we had again.
It's if it's plus 36, do it with a plus 5. Otherwise, do it with a. Boy, I hope he's not a plus 36. No, he's not. All right, so it's going to be at minus 5. Okay, so he's all right too. Okay. Now, we will bring up these guys. That's going to be 1, and then for me to shift to line costs me 2. So that's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, let's just go with that. All right, he's going to do the same thing. 1, 2, 3. That's costing him 1 because of the slope. And then it costs him just another 1 to do that. So that's 2. And yeah, I guess I'll just go ahead and keep doing that. So it's half. That's 1.5. I'm trying to decide, do I want to maybe just pile these guys up a little bit?
Yeah, because you could stack
Yeah.
in line. Infantry can have
16
in the clear,
clear.
16, yeah.
Yeah, so I think I will do that. I'm going to move him into there. he certainly had room for it. He'll move into there. This guy is going to go 1, 2, 3. This guy is going to do, that's half, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3.5, and a what the hell, 4.5, and a disorder check. And disordered.
Where is he trying to go? You've got too big a stack there.
Oh heavens! I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
you
thought there was
couldn't
only
move.
one
Yeah,
there.
no, you couldn't move
Oh,
him
no.
there anyway.
No, you're quite right. My apologies. I had them
I'm like,
Had
yeah,
them in
you
the
got
wrong
24
place.
people there. Yeah.
right, and then we will move the wing leader here. And what more could we want? Oh well, I guess I'm not really finished here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and go in because we can. So all 3 of these guys are going to attempt to do close combat. I'll just go ahead and start rolling from the top, from the north. We'll see what we get. Another 15. That's not real good because with the +5.
Now a 10, right? Yeah.
All right, good time. So we'll try the next one. Feeling better. And then we'll try the last one. And he's okay. All right, well, 2 out of 3, I guess. Okay, well, the individual combat designations are pretty clear because obviously I got 1 against 1 in each case.
Right.
So let's go ahead and start down here at the bottom, I guess. And so this guy's attacking this guy. So the odds are 1 to 1.
Oh, wait, aren't you?
Oh,
Don't I get the fire?
he's got to. Yeah, he's got to
Oh,
make a morale
I'm sorry.
check, and he's got to do a bunch of, stuff, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Yeah, so by all means. Defensive fire from that unit.
Do I do a morale check first?
Yeah.
All right. So next is the morale check. All right. Here's my
And-
morale check. Okay. That's even with a -3. That should be fine. All right. Now it's defensive fire.
Well,
right?
and actually you also get a modifier. Oh, but you don't get a modifier for the earthworks.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Never mind. But you're fine. Okay. Now, because you're spread across 2 hexes, though, you can actually fire 8 increments.
Right.
So this is going to be a lot.
And these are what? Are they Fusiliers?
They are.
Yeah.
A Fusilier. So
So they're going to be ×3, so that's going to be 24.
24
And your fire defense in the woods
is
is
15.
15.
So it's going to be 1.5 to 1. And 1.5 to 1 plus 20 because it's defensive fire.
all right. So here we go.
I think that's it.
Don't fire till you see the whites of their eyes.
Oh!
Big shot! Big shot!
That is a big one.
All right.
So that's going to be
112?
112, yeah.
1.5 to 1. So it's 3 casualties.
Oof.
3 and a disorder check and a morale check plus 10. So first things first, let's get the 3 here.
This is shades of Brandywine all over again.
All right.
I'm
disorder
having
check comes
PTSD
next.
here, yeah.
Disorder check's okay. Morale check, and the morale check is at plus 10, which means it's really at plus 15, of course. All right.
Rare
so far,
news.
so good.
Right. Okay, now I guess we need to figure out.
Okay. So now it's 1-2 because we were so rudely interrupted. And I guess according to what we just determined, you don't get any benefit for the terrain. Because half the unit's not behind the earthworks.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I got +6, you got +2. I don't think there's anything else. It actually seems a little bit of a letdown to do infantry combat after cavalry combat because there's so many fewer things to count up there. So I think it's 1-2 + 4.
So,
Sounds about right.
Everybody all right?
yeah.
All right, 1-2 + 4. Let's see what we get.
Special
Special
Gonna be a
result.
Oh, you're right. I keep forgetting the wretched special results.
The wretched special results.
All right. So the attacker loses 2, makes a morale check. The defender loses 2, makes a morale check. And I guess there's a leader casualty, but there's no leaders there.
Oh no, there's a leader on my side. Was it for the attacker?
But it's on the
leader
defender
check?
side. It's on
Okay.
the defender side.
Yeah, you're right. So
Yeah.
doesn't apply. Okay. So
There's not
2
much left
dings
of that
for-
poor guy.
no, they wanted to get right up there and get her done.
All right.
God, my guy is.
He's a 34.
Yeah, and I think even with my half dead
You're +5.
and the +5, but of course the leader takes the +5 away, so the half dead just puts me at 33. And you're at
37.
37. So I roll on that first.
Yeah.
A route.
Oh my gosh. Well, they just couldn't believe these suicidally insane
Musketeers,
Prussians were just
yeah.
going to keep charging.
You've got D'Artagnan and
Turning and running seems
whatever
like a
the
perfectly
Prussian
reasonable
equivalent
thing to
is.
do.
Yeah.
Sucks. And do I lose any more? Or?
Yes. That's part
Yeah.
of the
There's
special
one more.
is if the morale check has failed, failing stack loses 1 SP in routes. All right, and all 7 of the guys that survived are going to advance in there. Yikes.
But wait,
Okay.
there's more.
Yeah, wait, there's more. Okay, the next one is
He's got to make his morale check.
yeah, the defender needs to make his morale check. I'm going to submit that even though it looks like he's got somebody in his rear, he doesn't because the earthworks.
Yeah, I would.
He's
I would
facing
agree.
me just like he's facing everyone else.
Yep.
And do I get a benefit now from the earthwork or something? Or do...
Yeah, you would. It's plus. Are these heavy or light? I'm actually struggling to figure out what the difference is.
I think those are heavy. If you see the ones to the left, I think those are light.
You know what? I agree because it's a paler color.
Yes.
All right, so if that's the case, then you get -10 to your morale check for being in the heavy.
Okay.
So -7. All right. Well, they're happy.
Yeah, no problem.
Now I got
All right.
12 shooting at you.
How do you have 12 shooting? Oh,
'Cause he's only got
four-
4.
four increments times 3, right?
3.
Okay.
And you got
so
a defensive 15.
right, so it's going to be 1 to 1.5, but plus 20, and actually, I think it's more than plus 20. Yeah, it is, because he's a size 8, so actually it's plus 10 to that. So it's actually plus 30
Where are you getting the
at 1 to 1.
plus
On the fire chart,
on the fire chart?
target size starting at 8
Right.
increases the target size modifier.
Okay.
So,
So I'm not.
7.
Where
7
are
is,
you getting a plus 20 though? I just see a plus 10.
Oh no, the plus 20 is because it's defensive fire against infantry.
Oh, okay. That's all the time. That has
All the
nothing to
time.
do with the field work. Okay.
Yeah, that is the whites of their eyes.
Oh,
effectively.
okay.
'Cause,
Okay.
you know, they're getting up really close, and you can blast them when they're 20 yards away.
Okay.
So it's going to be plus 30 altogether at 1 to 1.5.
All right. 81. So 111.
111.
So that's
That's
2.
2. Okay. And a disorder check, but no morale check.
Well, no, it's not. Look. Oh, yeah, you're right. 2 DM. Okay.
Yeah.
But just disorder
Yeah.
check, not the morale check, since it was
Yeah,
an
because
odd
it was an
roll.
odd number.
Okay.
Right. All right. So we will increment loss, and then we will increase, and that's 2, and we'll do a disorder check. And they should be all right. Okay. So this is 6 to 8, so it's going to be 1 to 1.5. And you,
A little better.
yeah, he's definitely better. And the heavy field works cause a minus 2
2 to the
to
attacker.
my
Yeah.
value. So I'm a plus 2, you're a plus 3, so it's basically going to be 1 to 1.5 minus 1. So far, so good.
Yep.
Sounds about right.
Alrighty. Another special
So-
result. Well, we're all sticking around for the main event here, aren't we? That is 3 for each of us.
Ouch.
It would be a leader check for me. I don't have a leader check, so yikes. Boy.
This is
Everybody
very
is-
bloody. Yeah, everyone's got out their entrenching tools, whacking away at each other there.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Man. So that's 34, that's 39. Okay, now in this case, I probably need to roll first because, first of all, I'm half dead, and then the plus 5 means 39 is my number, and in your case, your number is increased by 3, but then decreased by 10, so it's 21. Again, because you're inside the earthworks. So I will roll.
I get the plus 10 for the earthworks. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will roll first because I'm the higher number. And that's definitely a route because there is no special result for M types. And those guys didn't do the one thing I asked them to do. Because all I really wanted was to disorder that unit. I didn't really expect to dislodge him. I just wanted a 1R, a 1R, 1D kind of result.
Right.
But I didn't even manage to get that done. So that's kind of annoying. Because that's the best way to deal with units in earthworks is just hit them multiple times with close combat.
Right.
You're probably going to lose the first time, but if you get him disordered, great. And then you hit him again. And if he, eventually you can start wearing him down. So, all right. So there's a good time. Not really the proudest moment for the Prussian army there, but whatever. We're going to flip the leaders over and we're off to the next Comedy Gold, which I think is my roll.
Yep. It's back to you again.
All right, my roll coming up. Another
Well,
big roll.
that's one for us, and it does advance the clock.
Yep, so the clock is advanced, and it's another one for the good guys. Boo, boo, boo. Boy, that's, like I said, that's really kind of annoying. No, can't do that.
What would you like to do?
Oh, I was just seeing if I had anything I could do to follow that up.
Send in the Grenadiers, man.
Well, I mean, I actually had a thought to do that. This guy's rather inconveniently in the way. Thoughtless of him. Because it means that
You'd have
Yeah,
to
but
engage.
the
Yeah.
best I can get is one hex against one hex. I can't gang up anywhere.
But you
So
could
that's
stack the grenadiers a little higher, right?
Well, yeah, they make bigger targets then.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You know, I mean, obviously, there is certainly the possibility of just counting on the fact that the Grenadiers are just better, and hope you manage to come out on top in a contest of morale checks.
I just thought I'd let you guys know. William
Yeah.
from Kitchener, Ontario, has signed in.
Oh heavens! Well,
So,
that's
yeah, I
quite a
mean-
relief.
Yeah, we were worried
Missed
about
again.
you, William. Exactly.
We were indeed.
We were going to just hold the whole game until you showed up. So,
Mhm.
but decided to push forward.
Okay. Well, shoot.
I mean, I could always go do something with my light cavalry. I still have half of the command I can mess around with a little bit.
Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and send in the Grenadiers.
All right.
Just- Gotta keep the pressure on.
Isn't
Gotta
it nice?
What's that?
Oh, nothing.
Not sending the
I was-
clouns, sending
I
the
was-
grenadiers. There you
Clowns.
go.
Very nice. Oh man. Okay. I'm trying to get the order of operations here. All right. So this would be Manstein, who's here. Manstein is, let's see, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4, 6, 7, 8.5. Okay, he's in range of the king, so doesn't need to do anything. His wing leader's right behind him. The wing
Yeah.
leader is in range of the king, so all good. So nobody is currently disordered. So we can ignore that, and we can just carry on with movement. And I will go ahead and start with this one. And that one doesn't mean a darn thing, but when he moves here, you could do some defensive fire.
We're at
Opportunity
That guy-
fire. Yeah.
I'm sorry, opportunity fire, quite so. So he could get a full shot and he could get a half shot.
So these are both Fusiliers, so and that's times 2, 8 plus, so it's 1 to 1.
Well, no, it'd be, yeah, it's 6 times 2, so 12, so 1 to 1, yeah. Yeah, 1 to 1.
Okay. 1 to 1. That's not going to do anything.
That is not going to do it. Okay. All right. And then he's going to go here. And there. And he will go here. And I'm we'll slide him
So
on.
that one only gets a 1 to 2, right?
When he comes in out of this hex over
Yep.
to here, yep, you could shoot 2 times, actually 2 times 2 because you're half blocked. So it
Correct.
would actually be 1 to 3.
94 at 1 to
Actually,
3.
You need a special result at 1 to 3.
Oh,
There's
okay.
nothing else you can do. All right.
I needed that on the previous ones.
Yes, exactly. Yes, you can never get what you want when you want it. That's just how this works. Okay. I'm trying to decide what to do with this guy. Do I guess I will turn him 1, 2, 3, 4.
You've got a reserve.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm a big believer in bang him up a little and then come back at him again later. And then we'll bring these guys forward 1 also. Got to leave a retreat path while we're at it. And then I'm going to go ahead and move the commander up to here. Okay. So that's movement for those guys. I think that was the entire outfit, wasn't it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. All right, so we'll go ahead and do close combat rolls for this guy and this guy both. So we'll start over here. And we get 77, and then we'll try the next one. We get 42, which is going to be enough for Grenadiers, for goodness sakes. And we will start here with this one.
And don't we get our special Panzer overrun since it's Manstein who is the
It seems
general?
like we should.
Yeah, we
yes.
should. I would think so.
Yes. So the defenders can roll a morale check with a, what, I guess +7 is what we've decided, or -7 rather.
All right. So I'll do this one first.
Well, yeah, we're only doing that one right now.
Yep. So he's very happy.
All right, so he's perfectly fine. He can now do his defensive fire,
Which is 4 times 3, 12.
4 times 3 is 12, so it's going to be
1
1 to 1, and there are 10 increments, so it's +10, so it's +30 altogether. So 1 to 1 +30.
All right, 1 to 1 plus 30.
That's what I'm
86.
saying.
86 is going to be good enough for 1 increment. And a disorder check. And a morale check.
Are you in Vienna yet?
Hey, yeah, we're not in Vienna yet. We're marching on
Disorder
Prague. How are you doing, Albert?
Pretty good. I just dropped in to say hello.
Good.
Hello, Albert.
How's your Civil War game going?
Well, we just wrapped up a scenario. We in the wilderness. There's a scenario called Longstreet's Flank Attack, and Stigler
Okay.
and I have just finished that. Stigler gave me a big spanking, and he did a textbook flank assault, and just did as well as Longstreet.
Okay.
And, so that was good. So it's for a first test of that scenario. So we had a good time. We're getting geared up to go to Gettysburg next week.
Oh,
Oh,
man,
that should
that
be
ought to
fun.
be fun.
Yeah, they're going to have tours in the morning
Right.
and games in the afternoon and evening.
And no sleeping.
Well, that gets you, definitely in the frame of mind for as a Civil War general. Lots of drinking, no sleeping, and see how well you can communicate to your troops on the map. So,
It'll be
And
just
in the
like-
wilderness, that'll be negligible.
yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's pretty nasty.
That is some really, it is some nasty terrain. It really is.
All right.
Well-
I did pass my disorder check and my morale check.
I saw that. Congratulations. So
Oh,
now
thank you
it's
very much.
now
What
it
was
comes time to the bayonets.
What was the 09? What was that?
That was the disorder check. If you're
09
stacked with a leader, it automatically passes.
No.
No?
This was a disorder check for the defensive fire, 09, which then meant that I went and checked, and because I was a leader, it was -5. No, excuse me, not because it was lead, but because my effectiveness rating is better than 36, it was -5 DRM. So I rolled again. That's where I said -5 disorder check. That's when I rolled the 43. So he's good. Then I did the morale check. I rolled a 98, and so again, all good.
Oh, okay.
Now,
98. Sounds like you can't get
how-
better than 98. I'll see you guys.
All right,
right.
take care,
Take care,
Albert.
now, how do you determine which one takes the casualty in this case? They're both equal. Is it your choice, or is it the top?
Oh no! Since it was fire combat, it's always the top unit.
Oh, okay, because you did the wrong one then.
No,
Didn't they
the-
each
the
have
one
one?
The one on the bottom had 2 before we even started because your skirmishers had hit them
Okay, all right.
previously.
Yeah.
I
So
thought
the-
they were 1 and 1. Never mind.
No.
Okay.
No, so the top one had to take it, but I put the unit that was farther from being half dead on top, so knowing he was going to get shot at. So all right, so it's 9 to 7 odds, so it's 1 to 1. I got printed values of +7, -2 for the earthworks, so I am +5. And you are +3. Okay, so at 1 to 1 +2?
That sounds about right.
think
And then your
that's
leader,
what-
does your leader add? No, he's
no, I
just
already did.
Okay.
And effectively, the leader canceled out the earthworks.
Okay.
So we're basically down to the printed values afterwards.
Cool.
So
Are you guys on Vassal?
Yeah, we are.
we are.
We are
1 to 1
well,
plus
we're
2.
playing the Battle of Prague.
Oh, Prague. Okay, I
Yeah.
thought this might have been Austerlitz. Okay.
No, that's tomorrow night.
That's tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Battle a day, right?
Yes. exactly.
Absolutely.
Keeps the
What-
Prussians away.
All right. So it
All
looks
right,
like
guys.
all right. Take care, Alan.
All right,
Care.
do that.
Be
Take
well.
care.
Bye. So it looks like
All
it's
right.
a MM.
Right, it is. So the attacker needs to go first, so I will. My leader exactly cancels out the army morale, so it just goes with the top unit. That's a 20. So we'll go ahead and do a 20.
No, wait. How? Okay. Yeah, never mind.
All right.
many numbers
so
on
you
these things?
pass.
Right. The defender it basically gets a -7 because he's in the earthworks. So it's a good thing he had the -7.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm
So then we refight. Is that correct?
Yep, we
Okay.
do a refight. Weird part about this, of course, is that there's really nothing different about the refight
Yep.
So it's
It's
still a
one to
1-to-1
one.
with a +2.
Plus 2.
because cavalry and enfilade are the things that go away,
Right.
and so doesn't really mean a whole lot. So basically, 1-to-1 +2 until one of us gets tired of it. Apparently,
Okay.
so
We're
there
in
we
a
go.
little firefight right at the moment, and he's trying to scale the walls, and I'm pushing him back.
All right. So now it's a +4
4.
net. So that's still a M&M,
Still an
right?
MM, yeah. 1-to-1 is actually not and I think rightly so. It's not great odds.
Right.
You've really got to want to be there. So I will go ahead and roll first. So morale check. He is okay. Defender
Oop.
is not okay.
Okay. Figures. Oh well. Alright.
So what?
I
They
wouldn't-
lose one
I-
and they rout, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You wouldn't
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, I would not have been so blasé about this if these weren't grenadiers.
Does he lose another one for going through this guy's zone of influence
Well,
as he
either that or
retreats?
he can retreat
Oh, over
southwest,
his own unit.
and the other
Okay.
unit has to take a check against that.
Right.
So, but yes, that is true. If he runs straight south, then he would lose another increment.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta do that. I don't wanna. Well, actually, it's what's my check at for the other if I go over them?
Yeah, so let's take a look at that. Friendly unit retreats. It's a morale check F. The only thing nasty about a morale check F. Oh, and by the way, you still get -10 because you're behind earthworks. But it's that you go all the way to shaken and disordered in one step
Mm.
with this particular one.
If you fail.
If you fail, right?
Right.
So it is one that the stakes are a little higher than they would be otherwise.
And so he would only
Obviously,
have
though-
just he'd have a -7 on his effectiveness rating.
That's right.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be anything else that's affecting it.
I don't
Yeah.
imagine there would be, no. Otherwise, you just take another increment.
I'll take the increment 1, 2, 3. But either way, I'm not any. This is not good for me because you're coming in there.
Yeah, no, it's not good. Being able to pop a hole through the crust was
Yeah, you got
That was
lucky in
really-
that regard. Yeah.
well. That's really what I wanted out of this turn. Was just could I do that? Because if I could do that, then the rest of it gets pretty easy. But of course, you know the dice they give and sometimes they take. So all right, so then I'll flip all those guys back over. Now I believe this is true, and David, you're gonna keep me honest, but I believe that it is true that because there was a refight,
Now 2 rounds, you're disordered, right?
I am automatically disordered. And it's surprising how rarely that happens, actually. But important.
So if
Okay.
if he'd failed the roll on the first one, you wouldn't have been disordered.
That's right.
But
Right.
because you did a refight, then you're automatically whoever's stuck around would be automatically disordered.
Exactly.
Okay, cool, good to know.
And that makes sense, right? I mean, because obviously these guys have seen the elephant now. I mean,
Yeah.
there's some pretty bad stuff just happened. So yeah, you can imagine they're a lot more disorderly than they would be if it had gone quickly. So, all right, well then let's move to the next combat. The next combat, you've got a defensive morale check. The morale check, though, you got +10 for being outflanked to counteract the -10 for being behind the earthworks. So now it's just your +3 army morale.
And outflank, I don't have to be in your zone of influence.
In order for it to be a passive enfilade,
On the
we're actually
combat roll.
calculating the close combat. That's right, and it's a subtle difference, but it still affects you for morale check purposes, even though it'll have no bearing on the actual combat. You won't get a -3 because there's somebody in your flank because I don't have a zone of control on you.
Yeah.
Well, I passed.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, pretty convincingly. Okay, so then defensive fire. Defensive fire, it's probably going to be the same 1-to-1 we had before, right?
Yep.
It's going to be 1-to-1 plus
Well, that's
20
fair.
this time because the target's not big.
Yeah. Okay. And
Ooh.
that's not enough.
they were all kind of looking to their left, if I had to guess.
Well, I think their flints probably got, worn down from all the shooting they were doing earlier.
Well, they have done a fair amount of shooting,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
All right, so it's 6-5, so it's 1-1 odds. I am only +3 because of the earthworks.
Right.
You're +3, and so it's basically just 1-1, absolutely straight up. Just good times.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
so that's going to be a -5 at 1-1.
No. It's a special result, brother.
Oh, I always keep looking, thinking that it's a 0.
Ooh,
Okay.
and that's an ugly special result for me.
Yeah. So 3 dead,
Lose
and he loses
lose
2,
3.
and then everyone makes morale checks.
Right. And increase again. Okay.
So I lose 2.
You lose 2, that's right. So I think we're now both half dead.
Yeah, everybody's half dead at this point.
So that means that you're now at +13. So once actually, no, this is absolutely worth looking. So this is specifically an M close combat result. So it's type G. So, for example, being outflanked no longer matters. Oh, no, it doesn't. Right. So being half dead matters. And terrain doesn't matter either at this point. So really, all it is half dead, disordered, shaken, army morale, and leaders. So that's subtly different than what we're accustomed to.
Okay. So he's going to have a
get +10, and
Right.
then so really you get +13, I get +15, right?
Yep.
All right. Put 'em up.
Okay. So I think you roll first then.
No, or doesn't the? Oh wait, which one does the attacker? It's MM. The attacker rolls first.
Right. Yeah, but on the special result, it's the highest stack, the highest effectiveness rating.
All right. So yeah.
So 41, I think, is your number now.
Great. So whatever. Let's see. At
Oi. Okay, so that
2 more and
it cost you 1, and then it cost you another 1 to retreat through the. So he's going to be down to 7 increments.
He's going to be down to 1 increment.
Well,
Because he only had 8, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Okay, well, they'll advance into the hex. That was the first roll, so I'm not
you
disordered.
are not disordered.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Just wanted to double check. Okay, well, victory is ours. And I will flip Manstein over.
Well, there you go. He's living up to his legendary. There was those breakthroughs.
That's it.
Right.
That's it. We got the Schwerpunkt.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I have no idea whose initiative roll it is.
Yeah. I think you rolled, so I think it's my turn.
All right.
So here we go. Let's go ahead and roll. 44. That goes to us. So what do you want to move now, Michael?
I'd be ready to let the light cavalry do stuff. I've achieved what I needed to achieve for the moment. I mean,
Okay.
if I get another it, if I get something later, I'll take it, but it's not urgent.
Okay, well, then that means that I can activate Stadtschau, who's here. And let's see, who's in command? They're in command. They're in command. They're in the command. I think everyone's in command.
Yeah, I think everybody is.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so let's roll for people that are disordered. So I got that chap over there. Let's see what we can get. Well, they're going to stay disordered. We've got this chap over here, 32. And then what? It's a minus something.
It's just +5 for being disordered.
Oh,
so really,
okay.
he's just shaken now.
Okay. Just shaken, merely shaken.
With a twist.
So, okay, and we will flip him. All right. And then that guy's shaken, but he would rally during the rally phase.
That's right. Exactly.
Okay. So now we got to figure out what we're going to do.
Yeah, there is that matter.
Yeah, well, now we're planning on destroying more cavalry. That's what we're planning on doing.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah,
brilliant.
yeah. That's the goal. Living the life.
So this is where you kind of do the technique that I learned as a young man playing Avalon Hills Midway.
Okay.
You bring in torpedo bombers from the front and from the side.
Okay.
And so if the ship tries to evade one, he gets hit by the other.
There you go. I like that idea. All right. So we can do that with these chaps here, right? And go 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoops. And then we'll turn him 6.
Okay.
Yep. And then he can go, well, yeah, we can, I mean, it doesn't matter which way we turn him. 7. Whoops. Right. And he can go that
that's
way.
fine.
Yep.
Sure.
And then these guys are already in position where they can do something coming in to catch that
no.
poor guy. No, they're not?
No.
Oh, they have to turn their facing, don't they?
Yeah, they'd have to turn west so
Okay.
that they would be in the correct facing.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
Yep. All right.
All right, so there's that.
Got some other guys you
Yep,
definitely
I need
want to move.
So let's move these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoops. And then let's go ahead and turn them 6. All right, and then these guys, we need to get them doing something. So I can move one at a time, right? I can break up the stack, correct?
Mm-hmm, yeah, you could.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then this guy can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I want to try to have them so they can kind of face a couple of ways, but I guess nobody can attack me here.
That's correct.
It's the lake.
I don't think there are alligators here.
Right. And what's the reaction zone for a charge?
2 hexes.
2 hexes. Okay.
So, if somebody were, you can't hit him in the flank without this guy being able to charge.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. All right. Then I will go ahead and roll for some potential charges, I guess. And I'm going to go ahead and move Zython up here just to be extra evil.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So here I'll roll for this chap first. Oh, he's very much going forward. And then I'll roll for Zython. And he's definitely going forward.
Okay.
All right. And so this guy can go 1, Now, do I do the combat all together or just one at a time?
Well, all the
Oh, I do all the
charge
movement first. Okay.
All the charge movement happens before anything
Okay.
gets determined.
So 1, 2.
Stop.
Whoops.
Stop. Back.
Yep.
Stop.
So as soon as I get here, I guess you can opportunity charge me, correct?
Right.
Okay.
That's right.
Now, and at that point, does that get resolved or does that?
No, you just get the +1 when we go into combat.
Mm,
That's if you make the check, right?
I'm double checking.
Yeah. It's not movement. If it were in the movement phase, then we would resolve it right away.
It's a reaction charge, not an opportunity charge.
Right.
So when you go forward one, you'd get a +1 to your combat modifier, and I would then have 1 less because I'm not charging 3, I'm only charging 2.
Right. So the difference would be that countercharging, you're still the defender, whereas with opportunity charging, you're the attacker. What you're doing is you are mitigating the other guy's attack instead of interrupting his movement with your own attack.
All right. So I am going to counter because.
Why the hell not?
Yeah. So go ahead and roll your die.
Yep, absolutely. Oi.
I have not done well on my
No.
morale checks.
All right, so you're shaken and you stay where you are.
Yeah.
And then the charge continues.
Right. So he goes there, right? And then do I move the other chap now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
all
1,
the charge movement has
2,
to happen first.
3. Okay.
Right, exactly.
All right. So they're both attacking this poor sod.
Of course, absolutely. And so now there is no defender morale check because he's already done his morale check, so there's no additional one.
Right. So
Okay,
then
looks
we're
like
going
I
to take a look at, I've got
21
7.
increments.
Yeah, 14. Actually, I've got 14. I got 22 increments, and he's got
Oh, you do have
6.
22,
So that is going to be 3 to 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we have to calculate the combat values for each stack separately.
Okay, so let me go ahead and flip those guys, and then flip those guys.
So the stack down below, the one that moved first,
It's got a
got
+5.
printed values of 5.
Yep,
They moved 3 hexes,
correct.
so that's 8.
Yep.
And then their light cavalry, that's 9.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The other one has printed value again of 5.
5, right.
They also moved 3, so that's 8. They're
Yep.
also light cavalry, that's 9. 10, 11, 12, because they're hitting in the flank.
Okay.
12 and 9 averaged is 10 and a half, rounds to 11.
Okay, so I have a +11.
11 total. The defender has +3 printed value,
Mm-hmm.
+2 because there are enemies in his zone of control, and
Right.
he's medium cavalry, so that's 5.
Right.
And then -5 for shaken, so that's 0.
Okay.
Am I missing anything, anybody?
Well, I'm hitting him in the flank too, aren't I?
No,
Yeah,
I already did
counted
that.
Oh, okay.
That's why Zeton's stack was +12 instead of +3 or +9. So you actually got +2 out of your total
Oh,
for
okay.
hitting him in the flank.
Okay. So it's a 3 to 1 with a +11. Is that
I believe
correct?
so.
Okay. All right, here we go. Let's roll the dice. So that's going to be a +9 altogether at 3 to 1.
Yeah.
So that's going to be nothing for me and 3
Three
all.
round.
Yeah, I mean, you just don't get these +9s, +12s when you're doing boring old infantry combat like I'm doing. You just got to grind them out.
Yeah. All right, how do we handle pursuit?
You got to move at least one
At,
unit
at
in there.
least one unit has to move in. More than
Okay.
one unit can move in, but at least one has to.
Right, and then we roll for pursuit points, correct?
2 points.
Yep, exactly right.
Okay, so if I go in there, then I would then roll for pursuit points,
Mm-hmm.
and I roll 7. So, how much have you got left, that poor sod? He's got 3 left. All right, so I go 1, 2, 3. I'd end up over here, and then I would have potentially 4 movement points left to turn or
That's
do
right.
something. Okay, well, we'll
That's
go ahead and do that. Go ahead and grease your poor little dragoon. And I go 1, 2, 3.
Okay, and then roll to recall +15.
Yeah, I'm fine. But with
Okay.
Zeton there as well, because I think he's.
Oh yeah.
What's
Oh,
he
yeah.
worth? He's -8. I mean, he's
+80. Sure.
nearly godlike.
All right.
Okay.
So you got 4. You
So
can
I can
spend
turn.
one turn.
Oops. All right, so could turn. Can I turn any direction and then move
Yep.
another 2?
Any direction you want, you can
Okay.
move.
So that's 1 point to turn.
That's 1 point you've spent. You got 3 more.
2, 3, and then I can turn again.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. That's nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Tough to beat, really.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Cool. All right,
Good
so
on
I
you.
got to flip people over.
Yep.
Yeah, that cavalry is just super wicked.
Indeed.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right, that's it for me. And I think I was the one who rolled the initiative, so it's back to David, unless we want to put a pin in it now. We've been at it for about 3 hours. It's 9 o'clock in my part of the world.
It's
So this
it's
is
been
probably a
good. I think
good place to, probably a good time to stop here, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you'd like, that'd be fine with me. I think we actually have made pretty good progress
Yeah, we have.
through the turn. So yeah. Well, then I'm fine with pausing right now. We're gonna have to pause anyway, so why not?
We are. Let's see. Alan says, for those being battles of the Age of Reason, I sure see a lot of senseless killing going on.
Oh,
Most unreasonable, I must say. Right,
But
like the
they're
American
all-
Civil War is any better, Alan?
Oh, they're all
Yeah.
commoners.
Yeah.
They're all just those. They don't matter.
We're the
There you
dregs of humanity, right?
Yeah,
I do
exactly.
remember reading.
Except for the officers.
I think it was a biography of Frederick the Great, I think, and I really appreciated that the guy in the introduction pointed out something that it just made sense to point it out. When this guy takes the throne, it's 1740 something.
Yeah,
Nearly no one on Earth doesn't live under a king.
yeah.
I mean, basically everybody lives under a king. The
Well, I think
idea
the-
of individual rights
Yep.
it's just not even a thing. The American Revolution's 35 years in the future. So he just said, just consider that while you're considering the behaviors that you're seeing and why people were doing what they were doing. And it was really helpful because it would be super easy 20th century, 21st century person to go, God, what a reprobate. What a horrible human being. Nah, not for that reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, not because he doesn't meet your standards.
Well, I
But,
think it's at Colon or somewhere where there's, I remember one of his famous quotes. There's some poor private or somebody who's like, cowering, PTSD kind of thing in the back. And he says to this guy, dog, do you think you're going to live forever?
Yeah.
Get out there and fight.
Right. And actually, I think what he may have said, if I remember it correctly, is, do you want to live forever? Not do you expect to live forever?
Right. Yeah.
Because but anyway, yeah, you're right, and yeah, that sounds exactly like a king talking to a peasant.
Yeah. Very good.
Why not?
All right.
Well,
Well,
gentlemen.
I have hit the save button. I suggest you guys do as well, so that way we can make sure we've got multiple copies.
Good to have multiple copies.
Indeed. And I will pull the plug on the live stream. Thanks everybody who tuned in, and we will see you